Hey Becky.
Hey Gail, how are you?
Good. Are we having a meeting? I wasn't sure. I was like, oh, maybe.
Yep. There's definitely one today. It's just typical holidays where most people don't attend. They have other things to do. So I'm definitely here if you have any questions. How are things going?
Good. If no one comes, I can show you our price lab
Yeah, show me.
and see what you think. Okay,
I'm here for the questions.
let me share my screen. And you have been doing a good job because I was like, she got me such that I'm up on the thing. Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, so here's our price lab. Let me know when you can see the screen.
Yep, I can see.
Okay, so the first thing I did was, as you taught us, I went in and I looked at the base, um, and it says imported cannot be generated, but I was like, I think that's just because we're new. So what I did do was I accepted their upscale, and I
Okay.
and I accepted their confirmed base price, and then I went to the customization to look at our. Oops, going a little slow here. Oh, very slow. Okay. Then I went to the customizations and I looked at the things that you talked about in terms of the smart presets. And I kept everything right now, just kind of recommended or conservative for right now. Orphan days, I'm just, using what they have. Same with far out, using what they have. Occupancy, no changes there. Custom seasonal profile, same thing. Oh, I didn't put that on. And then demand factor sensitivity, again, just based on what their recommended is. So I'm feeling like, okay, those are good. And then no changes here. I kind of kept those like two, two, and two.
Okay.
But here's where I wanted to talk about this. So let me, uh, okay, so then I was like, okay, so I've got my presets kind of in there. I won't monkey around too much. Then what I did is I went over to neighborhood data to take a look and see what things look like. So on the one hand, so here's our events. We've got a lot of events coming up. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
what we have right now is that I kept us in the bottom half of the gray just so we can get bookings. But I'm feeling like maybe this February, which is the big Phoenix Open Golf, maybe we
Yep.
can do some stuff around the minimum nights. I wanted to look at that. But to just show you where my thinking's coming from, is I try to keep it either down in the grays or just start to come up a little bit in some of the pinks,
Yeah,
but
definitely.
not get too aggressive. And
Can
then
you see if I write, can you see this?
yes.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
Yep, yep, I see your annotations. Okay. And then when I look at occupancy, I'm like, okay, so trend wise, the market occupancy versus last year is trending well because our pink is higher than last year. So that's good trending. That what's on tap for 2026 is even higher than 2025 in some cases, right? So
Yeah.
like, so that bodes well. Then I see market occupancy is at 55% and it's 39 days in advance that people are starting to look. So I'm like, okay, we've kind of missed December. What I really need to hit hard is this January, February, March, April. And, it looks like I could get some, I should try and hit the 50%-ish kind of, but I need to hit it hard now to get these because it's 30 days, 39 days out that people are looking. And ADR at 406. Okay. I didn't play around too much with the comps because I was like, I'm just gonna let Price Lab kind of work through for a little bit first. I did put in manually some comps. Um, like some of these are ones that I put in where I just looked at those that had a tight radius under two-ish, 3K under, radius,
Hmm.
kind of the 5 bedroom count. I think I may pull some of these down to 4, but but I did put some in, and we have uh, the Priceline ones in there. So I thought, okay, I'm starting to learn about the others. Oops, where's the thing to close this? Okay. So I did put some in manually, but there seems to be some in here. So I'm feeling like, we've got some in here. Um, and so then when I go over to our calendar, we have some bookings, but funny enough, the first one isn't till January 16th.
Okay.
So I've still got New Year's. Christmas, I think, is gone unless someone comes tomorrow. Um, so I've still got, but so I would love to get something in here just so I can start to get those 5 stars, right? Start get some
Hmm.
ratings. We can go up in the algorithm. So our first one's not till January 16th. That's lovely. But we do have an event here. We've got the beginning of the golf tournament there in January, at the end of January. And then the first week or so of February is really that golf tournament. And you'll see the spike in pricing. So, question for
Definitely.
you. I'm thinking not to do it in the customization, but should I just hard code maybe 3 night minimum here? But then where do I put it? Do I put it like a Friday? Do I put it Thursday, Friday, Saturday? Or do I just keep it at the 2 day minimum because I'm still the new kid on the block?
I definitely like the idea of a three-nighter, but because this is how far this is probably about 45 to 60 days out right now. So not super last minute, but a majority of people who would have booked like big events like this probably happen quite a few months in advance. So we're getting a little
Yeah,
bit
because
last minute.
our neighborhood data says that it's market windows 39, so like 40 days. Yeah.
Yeah, but that changes throughout the year depending on high season or low season. So
Okay.
for this, I would like to see what other people are doing specifically on this event. Have you opened up a market dashboard yet? If you
Um,
go to the top up here under market research and then go to market dashboard,
I have not.
yeah, well, you get so the first one for the first month is free, and you can just turn it off so it doesn't charge you. But let's open it up. Let's start one, and it'll give you like a whole nother realm of information about the market. And then we're going to do custom dashboard on the bottom. Okay, and then I would do, yeah, I'd do the 1,000 listings, continue. And you just got to create a name for it and a currency. So I use this, I turn mine on probably like quarterly, maybe like twice a year, quarterly, just to get some basic information about the market. But it definitely isn't necessary on a monthly basis.
Okay.
Okay, and
So
then
you turn
create
it on and then
dashboard.
you turn it off for a bit and then turn it back on?
Yeah, so every time you turn it on, it'll work for 30 days and then it'll recharge. So yeah, I just turn it
Okay.
on whenever I need it.
Okay. All right. So create market dashboard.
Yep, it's going to take a few minutes to load. So we can go back to,
Okay.
let's go
Well,
into,
and then sorry,
okay,
while it's doing that, quick, just a general question.
yep,
So we have Hospitable that we're using, and I have
me too.
it loaded up here so that it's got Airbnb, it's got Verbo, it's got Booking. I guess Hospitable has its own direct. I don't know what that is, but um,
Yep,
and then I was doing through the guest experience, I was doing our messages in
yep,
here. But and then what I found was before I was also having messages happen through here. And I was like, oh no, I've got to turn off the Airbnb messages so that people don't get it twice.
yeah,
Okay.
yep.
So
So
then
that's
I I went here. Was it here? Where was it?
that's probably going to
No,
be under
messages.
messages. Yep.
Messages, yeah. Okay, so under messages, um, yeah, so before I had all of these turned on. So now I've put them as not scheduled, not scheduled. So does that mean they'll all just come from hospitable now, right? They're not going to get double messages because I have it as not
Correct.
scheduled. Okay. Or is there any that I should leave on? Like, because hospital will give
Um,
them the security code and the check-in info. So I feel like I don't need any of the Airbnb ones turned on. Am I
no,
thinking?
it would be ideal to do everything in hospitable. That way
Okay.
it'll work no matter what site a booking's coming from.
Okay. All right. So just make sure, and I have all of these on. I think they're on.
Yeah, yep,
Yeah.
they're on. No, actually, yeah, they're all off. So these need to be turned on and then they'll
Oh,
be on.
okay.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, because you know what? I was going into them individually and I thought, oh no, yeah, they're not clicked. Okay, yeah, yeah, sorry. Okay, yeah. All right, so let me go back. So I'll go back and do those. Okay. Um, yeah. Oops. Okay. Okay, so now, okay, thanks. That was just a quick question.
Yeah.
Um, and then, okay, so back to
Yeah,
Mason
perfect. So it's
Intel.
on now. Right here is your subscription. If you just turn off that subscription toggle, then it won't charge you next month. So now it'll work for the next 30 days. And you could just
Okay.
say I'll be back again or something.
Okay.
Okay. And then
Cool.
show dashboard. So when like in the neighborhood dashboard where it says that it doesn't matter which one you really use, it doesn't, it's just for their feedback. And then change bedroom filter. You have 5 bedrooms, so I would do like 4 to 6 bedroom or 3 to 6 bedroom because we're just going to look at length of stay, which is, larger home versus smaller home. Perfect. Apply filter. It's actually going pretty fast. So when a lot of systems will just say like length of stay or how far people book in advance, the 39 days. That's really a very generalized number because it's a median price. So it's saying 50% of people booked before this, 50% of people are booking afterwards, but it really doesn't tell you when. So there's other ways to break it down even more. And
Okay.
so let's go over to length of stay and booking window. This is my favorite one. On the left side, yeah, it says quick links. Okay, so this chart right here tells us it's in the future. You can go to each day. So we are talking about like
Oh,
what
that
were the days of the
February.
event? Yeah.
Yeah, it was like February 2nd to 8th
Okay, this is the
for the golf.
okay, so it looks like a majority of people are booking. You can see here 3 to 4 days have 6 night stays, 5 to 6 have 7 night stays, opposed to there's a few one-nighters, few two-nighters. So knowing that a majority of people are booking 3+ nights gives me the confidence to put that 3 night minimum. Because if
Wait,
I
so what
saw
is
that
that? What does this say? It's saying
this
seven
is
people
saying
booked.
so on February 2nd to 2026, two
Hmm.
people booked 1 night stays, one person booked 2 night stay. 6 people booked 3 to 4 night stays,
Okay.
7 booked 5 to 6. Yeah. So it's just telling this is the data between like, how many days are people actually booking? Does it make sense for me to put my minimum stay to a 3 night stay? In this case, yes, very much so.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so another one right below it, this is like day by day, which is really nice. This is going to be kind of just broken down between, super last minute, couple weeks out, couple months out. If you on the top right in the little box, can you click that? And then change it from booked nights down here. Yep, to booking by length of stay and booking window. Yep, and then apply. Okay, and then we're looking at the chart on the left side, and then can you hover over this first or the second column there? Okay, so this chart is based off the last 30 days. It's telling you based off the last 30 days what people have been booking for the future. So in the last 30 days, there's been 26 one-night stays booked, 2 to 6 days in advance. So super last minute, there's a lot of one-night stays being booked. There's been
Mm.
11 2 night stays being booked, super last minute. And then you can see like there's only 6 3 night stays. So obviously you're not going to restrict a 3 night minimum super last minute because barely anybody's booking those. But if you go, let's go like 1 to 2 months in advance. majority of people are booking 3 nights, 4 nights, 5 nights, and there's no point of allowing one-nighters anymore at that point.
Although
So if,
there's 13 of them, but yeah.
yeah, but we're trying to maximize for what the
Yeah, because
majority are doing.
more of them are doing, there's 39 of them that did 3 days. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So, but this is like based on time of year. So right now you're going into your high season. So what I would do for a high season in Arizona is I would put a 3 night minimum. Anything past like 30 to 45 days. So that means people in March have to book a 3 night minimum. That means you're looking at the people who are looking for 3 night minimums. You're maximizing for those people. And then, but when you come into summertime, like June, July it's going to be dead. It's going to be
Yeah.
dead. So you have to be a lot more flexible on your minimum stays at that point.
Okay. So
So I would look around
then,
here. They also have training on this dashboard as well.
okay. Okay. All right. So then based on that, thank you. I'm going to spend some time on this later and understand it and then take the training. So then if I go back into my property, how did I get there? This one. Then Jan, for February and March, you're saying I should go to 3 night minimums?
Yeah, so you know how we saw in your customization, they have a seasonality custom profile.
Yeah.
So I would go under all, yep, all customizations, and then where is it? Custom seasonal profile right here.
Mm-hmm.
And you can turn that one on. So they don't let you do minimum stays, edit. They kind of change this sometimes.
And then we'll do
Hmm.
non-repeating season or maybe we do want to do repeating season.
Yeah, it's going to be every, February, March, April time.
Mhm.
And then add seasonal profile. Okay, you could
We'll do,
do percentage, that's fine. I'm less worried about the numbers, the prices than I am about minimum stays. That's what I
that's
really
right.
want to set is the minimum stay profile. So I wouldn't even put high season, um, probably February 1st through maybe April 15th. This is where I would look at like AirDNA tells me it has that seasonal calendar a little bit more.
Mhm.
But for now, yeah, I would do that. And then minimum stay profile and create. And then I would do weekdays, probably weekdays two, weekends three, or you can do 3 and 3. Pretty much March for you is kind of like March in Florida. It's going to get booked. Like
Mhm.
it
So
is
I'll do
absolutely
three
the
and
most
three,
popular. Yeah, that's what I would do.
3 and 3.
Cool.
Okay.
And then
Uh,
I would just probably save that for now, and then I would look into a little bit more research or go through the season first, and you'll be able to
mhm.
do the rest of these. But so just
Okay.
keep in mind, it's this is seasonal profiles are kind of annoying because you're not going to see it visibly on your calendar, and you're gonna have to know that it's in your customizations.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I think this is the main one to have. So,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. And then and do I have to put in a minimum max or it'll just,
I would not do that until you kind of refine your pricing a little bit.
I don't know.
Then
I'm
you can
saying, do I
start doing
have
that.
to? Is it going to need me to do it or can I just leave it
Oh,
blank? Okay.
I
All right.
think
So,
you can leave it blank. Yeah.
okay. So I'll say save changes. Okay. As soon as that finishes, and I'll go over to calendar. We should see it, I guess. Okay. So
Yep. So if you go into February now, yeah, you can see the 3 night minimums up there.
3. Yep. Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
So we have 3 bookings. We've got one in January, this January 16th. Then we've got February. This guy, he got the spring training and he got the 20% discount and he got like the
Yeah.
new a newbie rates. I was like, ugh. But
Yeah.
he seems nice. I've already been messaging with him. Let me show you. He seems nice. I was like, where was it? I said,
And he has great reviews. That's awesome.
yeah. Oh, yeah. So I wrote, I was like, hey, thanks for booking us. I was like, in fact, we just went live. You're officially our very first booking. And then I apologized that he got two messages. Um, and I looked at the tournament he's coming for. And, I said, we'll cheer him on. And then I was like, is it all girls? Is it guy? Is it going to be like wives? Anyone with any special needs? Um, yeah. And then he was lovely. He wrote back and he was like, thanks so much. We're honored to be your first booking. He's like, it's men and women that are attending the tournament. So it was good. He gave us a little bit about them, that their professional background and stuff. So yeah, but yeah, he got a great rate.
Very nice. Well, it'll be worth it because they'll give you a great review and good experience.
Yeah,
Maybe he'll be a returning person because a lot of the people I noticed when I had a property in Arizona were very much returning for this high season and spring
very
cleaning.
cool. Very cool. Yeah. And then we've got this guy, Frank, who's coming. Same thing. I was like, hey, you're one of our first. So they're coming for a card game based on Star Wars. So
Cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave out I just got some cupcake toppers that are Star Wars figures. So
Yeah.
we'll leave out
I
a
love
few Star
that.
Wars things. Now hers isn't until um next year. At first I was all excited. I was like,
January
yay,
27th.
January. And then I was like, January next year. No, 2027. I was like, girl, you are on it. So,
Yeah.
so here, last thing, and then, so when I went in here, where was it? Oh, here. So I was like, how do I get so that we're closer, that we start reaching up? Because I think it really takes, um, so I was like, how do we get more views? But I don't know if there's
Yeah.
anything more I can do right now. I put some holiday photos in.
Change this to similar listings. Yeah. Okay. So you're starting to go up. When did you go live? Last week?
Last Monday.
Okay. Okay.
So that would have
Well, we'll
been,
see.
what was last Monday? Is that somewhere here?
Uh, doesn't look like it's really updated too much. Yeah, I guess it
Mm-mm,
has, but
mm-mm. I think
normally it
there's,
has a spike, especially
oh,
because
you
you
know what?
have
Here,
your
I
new
think I
listing
can,
discount.
here, I think this is, so we started, let's see if I put in the 10th. Or no, we started December 10th. No, we started December here. So, okay, the 15th, last Monday. So if we start here to here, okay, then apply.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
definitely coming up.
Now, is it bad to have people look at it and not convert? Will the algorithm be like, ew, people are looking and they don't like you? And the reason why I ask is because
Oh.
I was gonna send out to friends and like David wanted to send to like friends. I like, if they're not booking, don't send it to them because I don't want them to screw up the algorithm by looking at it and not
Yeah.
converting. So,
Yeah, it's just a couple people is not going to hurt it. The goal is to get around 40 to 60 people. Well, yeah, to convert basically is considered like a good conversion from going from your first page to actually clicking on your listing. And then only about from when people look at your listing to when they need to book is a good percentage is like 1 to 3%. So
okay,
that's not
so if we
like not a
send
big
the
deal at
link,
all.
so if we send people the link and they look at it and they don't book,
A couple people is not going to make a difference. I mean, there's
okay.
thousands and thousands of people looking.
Okay. All right, I'll let him send to his friends.
Yeah. Like even if you go over here, like if you click over, can you hover over this area?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so right now you're not getting a ton of views still, which normally, okay, similar listings 9. Why does this seem so? Mm,
Yeah, because that's 9 and we're at 3.
yeah, So it does
But
seem
I'm
like each one would look a little bit different.
but
Or
I'm
each
like,
one
how
would be
do
a little bit more impactful than if you were to get like 50 booking or 50 views versus, a couple hundred views.
Mhm. So I was like, what can I do right now? But the part of me was like, don't mess around with pricing. Let that just
Yeah.
filter
I do
through for a little
think
bit.
so. The goal is to
Or,
get about a booking a day when you're first going live, like in your
hmm.
first couple days. If you've had three bookings in the last week, I would say that pricing might be a little bit high.
Okay.
So I would kind of look at that, and I think that would be the next step to bringing your views up a little bit more.
Okay. So right now, so I have it using the upscale. So maybe I go to the mid scale.
That's a big difference. It's almost bringing it down $80, which is a
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah, because even when I had
I
it
don't
at
trust.
upscale, I was following the bottom of the gray, right? Like so so like if I go back to neighborhood data,
Yeah.
when I had it at upscale, I was like, okay, I'm at the bottom of the gray, so I don't know that there's, I don't know if I want to go way down here. That could be weird, right?
Well, let's go look at Airbnb and see what your prices actually are. So let's go into the traveler side. Pretend like you're a traveler. Let's go look at Mesa.
Right. Put flexible?
Nope, we're gonna look at certain dates. Like, let's look at this week. Are you booked this week yet?
No.
Okay, so let's look at the 23rd through the 26th, like this Christmas range. And then search, and then go to filters. And we're gonna look for it's last minute, so we're probably gonna be comparing to 3 to 4 bedroom homes. Do entire home. Yep, entire home. I would compare to 3 bedrooms. I'd be pretty aggressive. Get people in the door. And then pool as well. I'm going to add pool. Okay. And then show homes. Okay. And then we need to find let's zoom in a little bit closer at Mesa.
So
You're
we
probably,
should be, oops, let me move the zoom so I can see. Oh, so this was the other thing. I was like, so we should be showing up right here, and I don't see us. We should be right here. And I asked the
okay.
guy at um, Airbnb, and he was like, well, he's like, it takes a few days. And I was like, no. And
Yeah,
then,
it's been like a week now. It should be showing up.
yeah. And then he was like, well, you have it showing only to experienced people. He's like, and you're not, he's like, and so you don't
Oh,
show
your
up.
account's not experienced.
Or no, he's
Okay.
saying, yeah. So that's why I was like, can other people see it? I can't tell. That's why I was like, well, show me what views looks like. Because I was like, I don't believe you that I'm live then. And that's when he showed me you
Yeah.
got to get to that
So
view
let's
thing.
look. So well, it probably wouldn't even work on I have a co-hosting account. Mm.
I did go over to like, let me see. If I go to a Safari and I
Does
just
it
put
help
in,
if I look and see on
Yeah.
mine?
Yeah, Dana, are you able to find hers, Mesa?
Let me, hold on, hold on.
thank you, Dana.
So
I'm
I'm
not
going
sure if it's going
here.
to consider you as if you have to be an experienced traveler or if the host counts as well.
So I'm typing in Mesa.
All
Sorry,
right.
it's
Yeah.
echoing.
Hang on, hold on. Okay, can you hear? I have you on the computer too because I had questions too, but let me see if I.
And I'm so sorry, Dana. After this, we'll
Yeah,
stop.
yeah, no,
I didn't
no.
realize anyone else was on because I'm in like
I
the
hopped
share.
on later, but let me search for you, and I'm trying to mute myself on the computer.
Yeah, Becky, we'll finish to get to other people. I didn't realize others were on because I'm in the share screen mode, so I can't see
Okay,
them.
here we go. So Mesa, Arizona, and what are the dates again? December 23rd to 26th?
Yeah.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. So then let me And should I put in
Are
a
you
certain
pulling
amount of
this up on your
guests?
computer?
I am, yeah.
Okay, can you screen share? No,
I'm
no,
not the
guest count
most
doesn't
savvy,
matter.
but yeah, let me see. Where do I put in for screen share?
For me, it has a toolbar at the bottom
Oh,
of
I
Zoom, and
see
in the
share,
middle has that green button. Yeah.
Hmm.
share. And then I'm gonna click on that and click share. Okay. Are you seeing my screen?
It's loading.
Participants can now see your
There it
application.
goes. Yep,
Okay,
Okay.
yep.
cool. All
Okay,
right.
and then if you can zoom in a little bit closer
Yeah.
to this area over here, or even to the right a little bit of that, like that
Mhm.
162 area.
Gilbert.
Yeah, that 208.
Yep.
Okay.
And
I'm
if you,
like above Reed Park.
Okay, yeah, that's good. And then go to filters, and we'll filter for 5 bedrooms.
Rooms. Or we want entire home, right?
Yep,
And then
correct.
we
Entire
want
home, 5 bedroom, and pool.
any other filters?
Nope, that's all.
Okay. Show 14 homes.
yeah, and it should be, you see where it says the groves?
Yep.
Very
Yeah.
kind of lightly. If you get a little
So
closer
let's,
into there, it should have shown up.
we wanted to show up even when we're farther back as well.
So if I scroll
Can you,
down,
yeah, on the left side, can you scroll down?
yep.
Are you are you an experienced traveler as well? Do you
Traveler.
have multiple
Mm-mm.
reviews?
No,
Okay, so I
no.
don't think it's going to show up then.
Mm-hmm.
So it's only if
So
you have
should we
multiple
take
reviews as
that?
a traveler.
So should we take that off for a little while? Is that even hurting us
Yeah.
too?
Yeah, I would 100% recommend taking that off.
Okay, so where do I find that? Sorry, that'll be my last question
Yeah.
then.
Okay. If you can screen share
Thanks.
again,
Yeah, let
I
me
will
stop
show
share.
you.
Okay.
Okay, so go back to hosting, listing, and then scroll on the left side down to the bottom,
Oh, here.
booking settings. Yep. Yep. I would turn off the required good track record.
And then don't do approve or anything, right?
No. You want to
Okay.
be as flexible as possible with guests.
Okay. Okay. All right. So hopefully I'll start to show up for people.
Yeah. Yep. That's a good first step. I would check your reviews every couple days now. Sure. Your views should increase. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's here. I put some holiday photos in
Okay.
and then
Well, now that you're visible, actually, we can go back and look at your price. So let's go switch to traveling and
I
then go
switched to
and look at
traveling.
your area just like we just did.
Can
Sorry,
you put
Dana, I
in
guess I
zip
haven't even
codes? Well,
asked. Normally you were just here to join. So do
Yeah,
you
no,
have any
no,
specific
that's
questions?
okay. I
Okay.
mean, Frankie, I think spoke with you. He was like sweating it out about not having any bookings. We got a couple, but I just wanted to look at the numbers again, like where we're at and with the views and comparing to others, like our insights on Airbnb. And if we're converting enough, I feel like we're showing up on the first page, but then we're kind of like dropping off. So I'm just trying to figure out what we can be doing, if we should be adjusting anything, is what I wanted your take on that. That's all.
Okay. That's for Palms or Sweet Memories?
Palms was the one where we weren't having bookings. I mean, I don't think it would hurt to, if we have the time to kind of look at both, and then maybe, I don't know if we play around with things or just let it be and just say, you know what, like we just got a, I think it was January 2nd to 10th booking at Palms, like a last minute vacation booking, but he's like, oh my God, we're gonna have to pay the mortgage. And I mean, his parents are going down and we're missing a week of time because they're using the property for part of the time. But up until like 2 or 3 days ago, we had nothing. So we've been sweating
Right.
it out.
hmm. Um,
Yeah.
so
For
we
the
can go
Palms
to
one, I
Dana,
would
but
definitely, for the Palms one, I would love to if we get on a call, like just me, you, and Frankie, since I'm doing the revenue on that, and we can actually really go through like the seasonality and everything and do a little bit more of a breakdown than I would be able to do on here.
Okay.
Would you be okay with that?
Yeah, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
so I don't see it on here. It should be right in here,
Okay. Um,
but I don't know if that's
can you type in just Mesa? It might take a minute for it to reflect since we just changed that. But yeah, let's just do just Mesa and 5 bedroom and pool. It might take some time to just update.
okay.
And it's not going to be exact because it doesn't want guests to know exactly where you're staying. So it's when you zoom in too close, it doesn't always work great.
Mm,
Okay,
gotcha.
so let's scroll. Yeah, let's go to the right a little bit, closer to the groves.
Oops, where'd I go?
I believe it's to the right. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be around in here.
Okay, and zoom out like a click. Okay. Yeah, I think it just needs more time
Okay.
to
All right. So let me
update.
stop sharing so
Probably.
we could go to Dana. All right. But
Yeah.
hopefully that'll help by taking off the experience.
Yep. Yep. That should help quite a bit. And then next, since that's good, if you have flexible cancellation, and then I'm kind of look at like, well, I don't want to bring down price until we see it comparatively. You can also bring up your listing itself on a separate tab. Look at what your pricing is for those days. Look at your competitors. We can do that as well.
Okay. I'll
Um,
pull up two windows on that while Dana has her questions.
yeah. Well, Dana's, I manage her, I help with her management of one of her properties. So it's kind of like we need to go through like a breakdown of going through the seasonality again and everything, I think would be helpful.
Yeah. I just don't know. Like, I know you say, I'm gonna see if I can find on here, like, if I go under insights, what the percentages we should be looking at, like, during a certain time frame. Um, oh, I had the window open. Where is it? Um, and I feel like our first, we show up frequently, but then the clicking, oh, average overall conversion rate is 0.23% over actually,
Can you screen
no,
share?
yeah, yeah. I'm normally calling on the phone, but today I'm home and I'm on my laptop, so let me click on this and click share. Okay, so you guys can see it now. So this one is for, I guess, Palms alone. I don't know.
Yep. And like we changed it for January, the months,
They're
yeah.
saying here
Yep.
for clicking like the first to the 31st.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that, and I think you normally say in this range we should be like what, 20 to 40%?
The people that I listen to say like the 40 to 60,
No, 40,
but
60.
that
Yeah.
is like I wouldn't say that's like a goal to shoot for, but I wouldn't say that's like a consistent thing I always see.
Mm-hmm.
So I focus like there's like different priorities for me. There's like I definitely focus on like my occupancy compared to the market is my first priority. I'm looking at like length of stay, what the market is doing versus what I how I want to maximize, is am I maximizing for 3 night stays or 1 night stay? Obviously, three if
Mm-hmm.
more people are doing that.
Yeah.
This is just like one point of reference, but it doesn't take into consideration views for other sites either in
Mm-hmm.
stays or
Yeah.
what's already booked also. So if majority of people are seeing on the first page and then they're maybe looking for that week, um, I don't know, like
Yeah.
the
I just don't know. I
idea.
feel like it's, I don't know if we're, what, if we should be like Because if I don't know, so this is further out. So do you ever look for like the current? Because it always shows like the month before is like what the automatic
Yeah.
timeline is. So I'm just curious, like obviously then you see more of where, I guess, um, actual views as to what people are seeing. So it's coming up like a good amount of times you're seeing it, and rank freeze shows that it's showing up, depending on what how many guests are looking. But then I feel like we always used to be higher in the
Mhm.
search to listing conversion. So I'm like, what have we changed or what haven't we changed? Maybe that's the problem. Maybe we need to change something up, but it eventually gets booked. And I think we changed some of the pricing, and that's for Palms. And then Sweet Memories is also actually, I think this one right now is clicked on Sweet Memories, but let's see what this one. I don't know. I just didn't know if we should be adjusting things or just being patient because I Frankie gets more antsy than I do, and I think he feels more the financial weight of things. So I don't know if there was anything else that you would suggest or changing up photos if that would help. I know we tweaked titles a little bit as well. I think most recently we might have been priced too high. And we adjusted that, and I think that's when bookings started coming in. So that's I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's a difference. Yeah, I think how to explain this? For January, if it were me and my property and I can see that a majority of people, there's still like 50% of people booking and we're consistently getting the rates that we were at, that tells me that I just need to be patient and that bookings are going to come at the rates that we currently have them. Obviously, if you dump rates, like Frankie wanted me to do, then you're going to get bookings and you're going to get them early. That's kind of how I see it. So I don't, I do not believe that it was a pricing issue. Um, it's just waiting for those people who are coming to pay, when the wave of people come in, when they're going to book. And the timing, it's not like we dumped the prices and all of a sudden they booked. It's like the timing was still needed to happen. Like a couple weeks came by, prices were where they were and they booked. They could have booked at the rates that they were before as well. Um, in this case, I don't put too much weight on Airbnb's conversions. If I'm
Mhm.
still sitting with the market occupancy or above the market occupancy, it's like something to consider. But I also
Mhm.
consider like the limited availability there is, and then the days that are available,
Okay.
um, as well as the like when people are most likely to book. So in
Mhm.
all of the other stats, it's saying that things are going well. So I don't put too much weight on what Airbnb is saying.
Okay.
Because I have no
Yeah.
clue. I don't like that Airbnb doesn't give me any information on where they're pulling this from, what they're comparing it to, what is the proximity
Mhm.
they're comparing it to, what is the type of homes, do they have pools, do they not have pools, like
Yeah,
do
they
they
say
have good
like
design?
similar listings, but you don't know exactly what
Yeah, you don't
right
know any of
there.
that. And so I try to
Mhm.
definitely do it based off of the properties that I've specifically picked, um,
Mhm.
to make sure that it makes that I do have those kind of metrics to base off of.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Hey Dana, where you had
Yeah.
the first page search impression, what does that mean? You were showing
Where oh
it
yeah,
was
let me see.
Under the conversion.
because that was really high. That's really good. What does that mean? First page search
That's I
impression.
think when you come up when someone looks in your area with how many times your property shows up on that first page, right, Becky? That's
Correct. Yep. If you
okay.
click on the little
Yeah.
title there, it'll give a description as well.
Yeah.
And then the next one is like, okay, how many times are they clicking on your property from when they see you? Search to
Mhm.
list or search to listing conversion, and then how many times they're booking from there. So like
Mhm.
typically like what they say is that, obviously want to be at the first page between, they say 40 to 60%. They say that you want people, and this is strictly based on like what big property managers that I'm listening to are saying. They're saying their top properties, which they don't talk about market, they don't talk about anything like that. It's like one market here, one market there. So again, the information's a grain of salt. But 40, 60% for first page, 40 to 60% for search to listing, and then like 1 to 3% for listing to booking conversion. That's kind of what they say. And then so if you're missing on the first page, then it's more of an issue of like, okay, how do we get back on the first page? It's probably going to be um has something happened? Have you had a cancellation? Have you had a bad review? Are your pricing, is there an issue with the pricing being like most of the time it's like way out of whack, like there's a sinking issue. That's normally what I see. Search to listing, if you're low on that, a lot of the time it's based on your thumbtack. It's, this is your picture that you have. That's what's attracting people. And then you have your title and your price. So those are the three things when people are looking through, you know, 20 different properties, what they're seeing and what needs to be changed. And then listing to booking on average is going to be more of your description and then your final pricing on there.
Yeah. I mean, I think
Yep.
that's still like an okay amount, but I feel like we used to be in the 20s, 30s, 40s and like search to listing conversion, and I feel like people are not clicking as much in both of the properties. And I don't know if they're just more options that are out there, so people are like seeing stuff on the first page and then not clicking through as much, and the people who do click through just end up booking it. um or where, like, why that number dipped down. And again, I know that this is only one means of looking at it, but I just didn't know if you had any thoughts on that.
Yeah. So normally I would say like it would be an instant of changing the title, it would be changing the picture, changing the price. But it's kind of hard when I'm on the other end and it's, you know, working, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've taken into consideration the other metrics I'm also looking at that are working.
Hmm. No, I know. I think Frankie just starts
Yeah.
like getting panicking a little. I don't know. I don't have that confidence, and I don't know the numbers or the data. And he's like, I don't know. I don't, should we like be dropping things? But then you're saying like maybe it just wasn't time, and we could have held it out in a calculated like risk and gambled a little bit, and someone could have booked at a higher price instead of cutting, a
Hmm.
break. Um, but I think he feels better when he sees like, okay, there's people on the calendar, but like, okay, how much do
And
we
that
give
is,
up by dropping it? It's like
yeah,
a
that is
tough
most
position.
people. Most
Yeah.
people would rather have the calendar full than really maximize the price.
Hmm.
Um, And I think that's, maybe the nice contrast between, having that helpful, like the manager plus the, person. So you can, one's a little bit more risky, one's a little more safe. So let's try to meet in the middle
Hmm.
here.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I, I,
Yeah.
I
Or
was
you
like,
just dump the
we
price.
can.
Because I really have to consider too, like if we, like, let's say you regularly get $400 a night and you dump the price to 200,
Then it
Airbnb
hurts you in
sees
the
that.
future. Yeah. And they're
Yes,
gonna
Airbnb
ding
sees
you.
that value. So now let's say your ADR is, 450. Now you've brought it down to like your whole ADR to 350 because it's averaging out. And Airbnb is like, oh, you're no longer worth, this 450 you were at. So I
Hmm.
really try to be conscious of that as well. Try to make
No,
small adjustments.
I get that. I know, but
Yeah.
he's also the one that ends up paying the mortgage if there
Oh, of
is
course.
so if
Of
there's a
course.
little,
Yeah.
yeah, he's
Yep.
dealing
And then
more with
there's
the
the
number
idea,
side of things.
the highs can, cover the lows kind of thing.
Hmm.
That has to be that mentality as a overall.
Yeah. No, and there's more that are coming, and I think you were talking about like March is a busier month and you can see the calendar looks more booked, but um
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't think.
Well, let's get on a call and look at the metrics like this year versus last year, you
Okay.
know? Like not even just like overall, I know we've talked about like overall annual revenue, but like,
Hmm.
look at our occupancy, look at the ADR I know has come up a bit, which is kind of the goal, you know.
And then I
And
guess
that's what most
also
people in
trying to,
this program too, I've noticed is a lot of people, I think maybe I don't emphasize enough anymore about how every market has different expectations when it comes to occupancy and seasonality. So when I talk about my property in San Antonio and that has high occupancy on a regular basis, I notice that people think that's the standard when there are a lot of markets where regular occupancy is more 50%, 60%. It's very,
Mhm.
very market based. And I'm learning that I cannot generalize things as much either. And I would like to start looking into more market specifics so people understand the difference. And they're both good markets, whether it's 50% or 100%, it's good. It's just
Yeah, it
different
depends. Maybe
strategy.
people, yeah, people might be, splurging and vacationing, and that's why it's more seasonal, but you can get a higher nightly rate versus,
Yep,
higher people being there more frequently, but you can't up price it as much. But no,
100%, 100%.
yeah, I get that. I guess the other thing too, and I feel like there's so many more people I think are probably getting into short-term rentals. And how does it look when there's more competition that's out there? Because I feel like things have jumped drastically for us within a matter of a year or two in our own market. And then how do we, you know, continue to keep ourselves set apart? Because there's other people who are coming in and they're doing, you know, there are some that are like sucky, not, you know, professional host or not great design or things like that. But there are other properties that are coming out there that do have really good design and unique amenities and things like that. That, I feel like, and how do you keep up with that, or how do you adjust things to still be relevant and up there, um, and continue to get bookings, I guess would be,
Yeah. And
I don't
we
know.
can look at Bradenton as an overall market because it's all about, yes, how many properties are coming into the market, but can revenue keep up with it? So if revenue is increasing as high as, as fast as properties are incoming, then I don't consider it saturated because there's enough money for everybody and it continues to grow.
Hmm.
But there are a lot of markets right now that are looking, you know, a little bit more. Even like places like I've been really into Indianapolis these last few years, but I'm noticing in these last 2 years that there's been a huge influx on properties, and the market is just the amount of people isn't changing. The amount of people coming into the market isn't like as travelers are not changing. So let's say there's like a 5% increase in properties, but only a 1% increase in revenue. Then overall
The
revenue per
math doesn't
property is
match.
coming down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Oh, that's
Yep. So
interesting.
we can look at that as well.
Dana,
And
where are your properties located?
we have two homes, both in Bradenton, Florida. So we were
Oh,
not
okay.
anticipating having a second one in there. We were trying to find somewhere else, maybe in Florida, but it ended up
Nice.
we had the teams in place. We knew the area, and things just worked out that way. But
Yeah, very
no,
cool.
it's thanks. Yeah, we
Very
love
cool.
it down there, but it's hard. You have all your eggs kind of in one basket too. So, um, I don't
Yeah,
know. It
yeah.
it's good and bad, I guess, right?
No, I can relate. I can relate. Hey, Becky, I have one more last question for you on
Okay.
something just a toggle because I know we got a wrap up. Dana, do you mind if I share my
Yeah,
screen
yeah,
real
yeah.
quick
No,
just to
not
ask
at
her?
all.
I
Go ahead. Yeah, yeah,
just want
yeah.
to ask her where this thing is to maybe change. So I'm on the Airbnb for the property, and I see on here that it says advance notice at least 1 day. Maybe
Yep.
that's something that's also impacting, but I didn't know where that got turned
Yeah.
on or where to turn it
So
off.
that's going to be, let's go to
That,
hospitable and then go to properties and click on your property and then go to availability on the left side, availability. And then scroll down. I would do availability window 12 months. Okay. And then scroll up and then go to, I believe it's booking rules. Scroll down, preparation, advanced notice. I would just set them all to one. Well, I guess you could do the other ones can stay at 1 day advance notice. Those are good. But yeah, okay, for Airbnb, it's not gonna let you change it unless you do it all one. Okay. Oh, it is. I do mine to 9 a.m. Same
What does
day,
that
9
mean?
a.m.
What does that mean?
Oh, you do. Okay. Okay, just a moment. Let me explain in just a moment. To do set to one value, it's gonna, no, I'm sorry. I see it now. You can change
Edit per
that.
channel.
Yeah. Go back to edit per channel.
Oh,
Okay. Let's make booking.com 1 day advance notice just because
mm.
it's a little more finicky.
Oops, where was that?
Why is it not? Okay, yeah. At least one
There you go.
day. Airbnb, 9 a.m. And then where did that option for request go? Is this, are you just, can you scroll all the way down? Oh my gosh. Okay. Try to do that again for Airbnb, the change it to 9 a.m. There it goes. Okay. Now on the bottom where it says allow shorter notice. Okay. So what's happening is on Airbnb, anybody can instant book until 9 a.m. After 9 a.m., they have to request to stay. This just
Okay,
makes it
that
to where, yeah, makes it to where you can go and contact your cleaners, make sure that they're going to be available to do that cleaning quicker.
I love that. Okay, yeah, because that was the
Yes.
thing. I was like, no, I don't want someone to book it, and like, I don't know. And okay,
Yes.
okay, so
They
9
just
a.m.
transitioned all this stuff to hospital these last few months.
Okay, so this says they can book until 9 a.m. and still get check in at 4, but if they book after 9 a.m., they have to let us know, or they
They
have
have
to
to
have
request.
request. They have to request. Okay,
Yep.
perfect. Okay,
And it's not a bad thing if you can't, if your cleaner says, I'm not going to make it there to clean before 4, then you can deny them and it's not going to hurt you.
okay, 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 great. Thank you. So
Of
then
course.
when I go over to Airbnb, that'll at some point flush
Load
through.
time is 4.5 hours for hospitable,
Gotcha. Okay.
up to 4.5 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. All right, guys. So there's not going to be a call on Wednesday. Emily's going to do the call next Monday, and then
Mhm.
I will see you guys the following Monday.
Okay.
Nice.
Happy holidays, everyone.
All right.
Yeah, same.
You as
Happy
well.
New Year.
Talk to you
Bye.
later.
Thank you, Becky.
Bye. Of
Bye.
course. Bye-bye.
Bye, Dana.